What's going on, guys? Welcome to another post-game live here on Dime Dropper for the 2023-24 NBA playoffs, the 2024 NBA Finals, more specifically. Before we get started, you already know the drill. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper and hit the notification bell for all things NBA, LA sports, and Copa America coming up. Going to be flying to Atlanta for Messi's first game, the opening game of that tournament. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can follow your boy on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Dime Dropper Pod. We are live from Los Angeles tonight. I tried to go live a little earlier, but my live just crashed out. So if the live crashes, that means that my computer is overheating and it's just isn't sustainable. So I'm gonna have to get it cleaned. But let's talk about the game while we still can. Dallas and Boston. This was a desperation performance by the Dallas Mavericks. They laid it all out on the line. You got the best performances that you could have gotten from Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, who were in attack mode from the jump. No crazy adjustment. Both teams were switching everything. Both teams kept the same matchups, and Luka and Kyrie were unstoppable. There was a moment in that first quarter where the Mavericks tried to go at Xavier Tillman and had some success. But overall, it was Luka and Kyrie being the best versions of themselves on both ends of the floor. So see, now Luka looks fine. He looked great. So I think he was amazing. We've talked about all series long how the Mavericks have had some trouble fully getting by Celtic defenders. And in this game, I thought they did more of that. They were really aggressive, and they were able to get 2 feet in the paint more, which forced the Celtics to help harder and open things up for other guys as well. But it really all starts with Luka and Kyrie getting the step on their defenders and breaking the defense down. And Luka was just unstoppable. You saw him in the post a little bit more tonight, so that was really good. There was even one little spin over the left shoulder, up under against Drew Holiday, step through. That was beautiful. And as for the Celtics, man, they just did not seem hungry for this one at all. You don't want to use the cliche that they wanted it more, but it truly felt like the Dallas Mavericks wanted it more. They were first to the offensive glass. They were more aggressive defensively. They were in attack mode offensively. I mean, it was just a desperate performance by the Dallas Mavericks, and credit to them. And it started right from the jump. I will say Jason Tatum, he took some bad shots in the first quarter, but he had 11 of the 21 Celtic points in the first. But they were down 34-21 after one. Kyrie had 9 in the first quarter, and Luka had 13. But Derek Lively came into the game, shocked everybody with a 3. He had a 3, then he had a nice contest down low against Xavier Tillman, and then he had a nice kick out. Actually, no, it was a lob from Kyrie Irving. So great little stretch there by Derek Lively. He hasn't had an impact at all in this series due to the 5-out offense of the Boston Celtics, taking him away from the paint, and the switch everything, kind of taking away that lob that he used to get when teams went drop coverage on them. But he was still finding a way to make himself very useful in this one. Let's see. Derrick Jones Jr. had an awesome layup in that first quarter on a fast break, very athletic. And as I said, the Mavs were just defending with desperation. Kyrie Irving and PJ Washington hit back-to-back threes towards the end of that first quarter. And Josh Green and Derek Lively crashed the offensive glass. That first quarter at the time was the highest scoring quarter of the finals for Dallas. And in tonight's live, I'm not even going to have to talk about the fourth quarter because it was basically irrelevant. The game was already over. It was truly a blowout. Everything that could have gone wrong for the Celtics did, and everything that could have gone right for the Mavericks did. I mean, they were awesome. And it starts with Luka and Kyrie. And I said that for them to even win one game, it's looking like Luka and Kyrie have to be great, have to be the best versions of themselves on both ends of the floor. And tonight was that night. But can they do this 4 times? I don't think so. And that's why I don't think they're going to win this series. But credit to them. So many teams you've seen lay down and die. I tweeted about the 2018 Cavs tonight because they felt they did that. I thought the Mavericks, there was a chance they were just going to lay down and die. The Celtics were going to hit a couple of threes, and that would be that. But credit to them. They stayed strong. They fought and said, we're not going down with a sweep. We're not going out on our home floor. I am not getting swept, and showed a level of pride tonight. So you got to give them a lot of credit for that. In the second quarter, the Celtics shot a terrible 3 for 16 from the field. 3 for 16. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown combined for 8 points. Luka Doncic had 12 points. The Mavericks outscored the Celtics 27-14 in the second. Their defense was great. Their help defense was back to the help defense that we're used to seeing from Dallas. And the Celtics just weren't making their threes. Yes, they got a lot of open ones, but a lot of them weren't as open as the previous games. They had to work a little bit harder for the shot, had to work a little bit deeper into the shot clock. And that comes from the desperation level of the Dallas Mavericks. Again, I thought Derek Lively was great. You even got a contribution from Dante Exum, knocking down a three, getting to the basket, playing hard defense. So you needed these kinds of contributions to even get one game. Josh Green on the offensive glass, and Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday were just terrible. With players like that, they make tough shots. They make plays against the best kind of defenses. They just weren't good enough. And it's okay. They're bound to have a bad game. And Luka and Kyrie were amazing. And I have to say, every time Luka was targeted, it felt like tonight that he stood up to the task. He moved his feet and stayed strong. The whistle, of course, was very different tonight. I think the NBA also wants a game 7. I'm sorry, not a game 7. Doesn't want to sweep necessarily. So I think that was a thing, but not enough to make a huge difference when you lose by that much. The Dallas Mavericks were just the better team tonight. And Luka Doncic, I mean, he was good. He moved his feet. He was doing it on both ends of the floor. Kyrie Irving guarded Jason Tatum plenty on switches, and he did a very good job standing his ground. And there was even some moments in the second half where Kyrie was going at Jason Tatum and got to his right hand twice and scored on him. So it was a pretty picture-perfect first half for the Dallas Mavericks. The Celtics had the fewest first-half points in a finals game since the Lakers in Game 7 of the 2010 finals. Shout out to my man Law Murray for giving me that stat from Twitter. It was just brutal in the first half for the Celtics, and it basically decided the game. But let's read some of the first half stats. People in the chat, let me know if I'm lagging or not. Only 11 people in this live tonight. Mavericks, Celtics. I know it's the finals. It's not an LA team. I was getting way more views than the Mavericks are winning series. Those guys have just completely gone away, I guess. But yeah, super chats are turned on. If you want to drop $1 or a dime, any donation is appreciated. The Celtics only scored 35 points, in the first half. Mavericks 61. Jason Tatum had 15 to lead the way for Boston. Nobody else was in double figures. For the Mavericks, Kyrie had 11. Luka 25 at half. 25. So he was a beast. And in the third quarter, they just picked up where they left off. They were rolling. Lively was amazing. The three ball was falling. Derek Jones started hitting. PJ Washington started hitting. Kyrie was cooking. Luka was guarding. Luka couldn't be stopped. Luka found a way to get 2 feet in the paint. He was crafty with the handle, making those little one-legged fades, making those mid-ranges. Kyrie the same. And Kyrie was relentless getting to the basket as well. So picture perfect. I mean, it makes you think, if you're a Mavs fan, why couldn't we play with this kind of effort before? Because the thing is, when you make shots, you allow your defense to set. When you cause misses, you get cross matches in transition. The momentum goes your way. Everything changes. And it just goes to show you how two teams can look like completely different teams from one game to the next. I mean, you hear the commentators talking, and they're like, Dallas is first to every loose ball. Dallas is moving the ball better. Boston's playing dumb. They're throwing the ball away. And their stars haven't been good enough. It's just so funny. And they waved the white flag in the third quarter. It's very clear that this wasn't the game for the Celtics, but did they play a little too lazily and give the Mavericks a little too much momentum with that blowout? You don't want to give a team too much confidence, and they might just have done that, not to the point where they come back and win the series, but I don't know. That next game might be tricky. It's closeout games are hard, and they're not going to go down without a fight. The final score is 122-84. It was an absolute beatdown with the Mavericks up by as many as 48 at one point. They end up winning the game by 38, the most dominant win of the series. The Celtics shot 36% from the field, 34% from three, 92 from the line. They did not have a good shooting night in the slightest. Definitely credit to Dallas's defense, but they can be so much better. And as for Dallas, they were rolling on all cylinders. 50.5% from the field, 40.5% from three, 68 from the foul line. Let's read the lines for the Celtics. Peyton Pritchard, I mean, a lot of it's garbage time. So let's just go to the starters or the people that played significant minutes. Xavier Tillman played 7.5 minutes. He had 3 points on 1 for 2 shooting. Definitely was taken advantage of to an extent. Porzingis was definitely missed in this one. And then the starters, Derek White was just 2 for 8. So his first bad game of the series, 6 points, 2 for 8. All of his shots were threes. Al Horford was 1 for 1, extremely quiet. 3 points, 3 boards, 4 assists. Drew Holiday, 10 points on 4 for 10 shooting and 2 for 4 from 3. He was bad in my opinion. 5 turnovers. And then Jaylen Brown, first really bad game of the playoffs, 10 points on 3 for 12 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3, 3 for 4 from the foul line. And Jason Tatum, man, he has been nowhere near good enough so far in these finals, but he's been good enough for his team to have a 3-1 lead. All he needs to do is have one great game. Just give us one great game, Jason, and the finals MVP may be yours. Jaylen Brown hurt his stats tonight more than you did. 15 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks for Tatum, but he turned the ball over 3 times. It was 4 for 10 from the field and 1 for 4 from 3. The Celtics just didn't come out to play tonight, really. I know it's cliche to say they wanted it more, but the Mavericks wanted it more. They surely did. Tim Hardaway Jr. had a heater later in the game. 5 for 7 from 3, and all his shots were threes for 15 points. Will that get him some minutes, though, in Game 5? I wouldn't if I were Jason Kidd. Dante Exum did his thing, played 14 minutes and had 10 points on 4 for 7 shooting and 2 for 4 from 3. Maxi Kleba, he didn't really do much. 5 points, 1 for 2, but he was a team high plus 25. Actually, no, there was higher plus minuses, but he was pretty good in terms of effective minutes. Just played defense. I think everybody on the Mavericks played defense. You saw some of that help defense that they became so good about in previous rounds. And a lot of that's because the Celtics aren't making threes, though. Josh Green, what an impactful 18 minutes that you can't really see on the stat sheet. 3 points, 5 rebounds, 2 of those offensive, 1 assist, 1 steal. I thought he did a little bit of everything. 1 for 2 from the field, 1 for 3 from the foul line, though. Derek Lively was just spectacular. A great finals performance. He was everywhere. 7 offensive rebounds, 11 points, 12 rebounds overall, 1 steal on 4 for 5 shooting, 1 for 1 from 3, 2 for 4 from the foul line in 22 minutes. He was awesome. Daniel Gafford played just 10 minutes, had 7 points and 4 rebounds on 1 for 2 shooting, 5 for 6 from the foul line. And then Derek Jones and PJ Washington both played under 17 minutes. Were both 2 for 4 from the field. Derek Jones was 1 for 2 from 3. PJ was 2 for 3 from 3. So they made them tonight. And they combined for 11 points. They didn't even do that much, but they were good enough. It was a Luka and Kyrie show. They combined for 50 points. Kyrie had 21, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, just 1 turnover on 10 for 18 shooting, 1 for 6 from 3. The crazy part is Kyrie and Luka combined for 1 for 14 from 3. They have not shot well from 3 in this series. So if they have a game where they do shoot well from 3, then look out. But Kyrie Irving, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 6 dimes on 56% shooting. Great game. To me, he's now been good in 2 games, awful in 2. Luka, though, he was really good in this game. 29 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 turnover, cooking finally. 12 for 26 from the field, 0 for 8 from 3. And I'll tell you what, I think the Celtics are sitting on that step back. They're waiting for it to come. They want him to get downhill, but that's a good thing. He's got to take advantage of that, get downhill, draw 2, and make a play. He was great in this game. And Luka has been the best player in the series to me through 4 games, but he wasn't good enough in game 3, and that was a very important game. And he looked gassed in game 2 as well. He really did. So it's going to take performances like these. It's going to take Luka to be better defensively like this. You know, if they can replicate this, they got a chance. And if you get it back home for game 6, then you never know what could happen, especially with the way this Celtics team has, looked shaky in the past. But if you're Boston, I mean, look, you didn't even come out and play tonight. Game 5 is the game. You go out and close it in front of your home fans. Don't bullshit. Jason Tatum's got to get downhill, catch the ball in the mid-post. Jaylen Brown's got to get downhill. And I'm more confident that Jaylen Brown will have a great game than Jason Tatum. I really don't know if Jason Tatum will have a great game. He's been very, weird in this series. But I think that they're going to get it done. I think Game 5 will be the end, and Monday night we'll have a party on Causeway and Legends, and Boston's going to explode, having their first title in 16 years, and we'll be here to talk about it. But due to safety of my computer being really suspect tonight, I'm going to end the live now. I want to say a couple of things. Actually, I'll say this. We'll read the comments real quick. I see my boy Colton Dodd is saying Mavs in 7, and he still believes. Some people are saying, I'm here. Mavs are done. They're not about to make history. If anyone can break the curse 3-0, it's Luka Doncic. Avant Traders says Celtics will close this out in 5. They will dominate at home. They just missed every shot and came out relaxed, but that'll be completely different at home in Game 5. Colton Dodd says Lively will shoot lots of threes next year. Avant Traders says Celtics did what they had to do, which was win 1 in Dallas. Now they come home and close it in 5. There's a chance Porzingis plays in Game 5 too. Todd, the show, shout out to my guy Todd from Houston. He's making a good point. says they have to be great and the Celtics need to not be good. Avant Trader says Celtics didn't lose a game in 35 days. They were due for a loss. They're not shooting this bad at home. Todd says Luka and Kyrie combined 1 for 13 from 3 and they still went easily. This series is over regardless. Excuse me, that doesn't sound like a pro series is over point. So this person's saying Cameron Brink in 5. I didn't get to watch the second half of the Sparks game yet, so I will do that. Got crushed by the Storm the other night, but we'll catch up with that on Basketball and Figueroa. As far as the Euro Cup started today. Germany against Scotland, and what a way for Germany to bounce back. After not winning an opening game of the tournament since 2016. They lost the opening game of their last 2 World Cups and didn't make it out of the group stage. So for them to dominate Scotland like that was very impressive. Jamal Musiala was amazing. Having Toni Kroos back was amazing. Ilkay Gundogan was great as well. So we'll see if Germany will take it all the way. They surely got a chance at home. But my stream is lagging like crazy, so I got to get off. Thanks to everybody for joining. I will see you guys on Monday, and we'll see if we'll have any content before then. But we'll see you on Monday no matter what. Peace, and have a great night.